if anything, the wind's picked up in the last half hour.
Yeah, just on our faces here in the commentary box, it's cold, as you say.
Attention, go!
So at midday exactly, the Wyfold Challenge Cup underway. The Tideway Scullers School on the left of your picture from the Berkshire station up against Sport Imperial Boat Club on the Buck station. Just darting away from Temple Island, both going at a huge rate, and Sport Imperial are going to need to be careful here. They've readjusted themselves without intervention from the umpire. Now it's maybe the turn of the Tideway Scullers to watch their steering. No raised flags yet, but the umpire will be keeping a very close eye on the steering because both boats close together. Here he comes now to intervene, and it's the Tideway Scullers who are being asked to return towards the Berkshire station.
That's right, and then John Hedges, he'll be watching this very closely. We've seen this Buck station move quite a lot off the island, and what happens is when they start to move back, the Scullers, the crew on the Berkshire side, quite often follows them. But it looks now they're both up and sweet, and here we are. We had Adam Freeman-Tass talk about the long arms of Matthew Whaley yesterday in his commentary. He's coming out, stretching out, taking his Sport Imperial boat into a great rhythm. Scullers on the other side, coached by Tom Gale, such a technician in the sculling boat himself, and you can see that in how he coached his rowers. Out there, long, loose, light, lifting the white boat up.
And that white boat, the Tideway Scullers School, just nudging ahead, but not by much at this stage at all. Sport Imperial right in it. They beat Thames Rowing Club by 2 lengths yesterday in their semi-final, so relatively comfortable closing stages to that race. This race, though, a lot at stake.
Scullers, another crew that was down yesterday. They've come out today, really concentrating on that fast start, and it'll be interesting how these athletes feel. They did sit for 10 minutes, and you always feel horrible at this point of the race because this is when the oxygen jet is hitting you. You can't breathe. Your legs and body are telling you to stop, and it will feel maybe a little bit worse because of that. These guys need to keep relaxed, trust their bodies, trust their trainings. That feeling will go away, and you will come back. Your legs will come back to you.
So Nathan O'Reilly in the white baseball hat in the bow seat of the Tideway Scullers boat, and the bow seat Josh Butler for Sport Imperial, and a little glance over from Butler to register exactly where the Tideway Scullers are sitting. The answer is fractionally in front, but nothing in it at this early stage. And they're both settling down into a good rhythm now after the start line drama.
Yes, I think they'll be pleased to get on and get going. And both crews at the moment, they've got their boats well under control. They're going along straight, smooth. Neither steersman won't be having to do much on the rudder. It'll be about getting into your rhythm and starting to soar your way down this long Henley Royal Regatta course. Slightly shorter today, not on length, but because of tailwind.
Oh, whichever boat comes out on top in the next 5 minutes, it'll be new winners of the Wyfold. Last year, Grasshopper Zurich won, beating Upper Thames Rowing Club. Tideway Scullers or Sport Imperial will succeed them as the umpire once again tells Sport Imperial to head back towards the Buck station. Busier race, more going on in this race, right from a couple of minutes before we started until now, reaching Forley.
Yeah, and there we are, Sport Imperial, that long, loose rhythm, doing what we saw them do yesterday. Josh Butler, Matthew Pointing, Samuel Butler and Matthew Whaley, very long, very strong, good experience in this boat. They'll have been training both these clubs on the Tideway against each other. We know a lot of the Scullers, Sport Imperial boat, has been training apart full-time workers as well as part-time athletes.
Well, it's another mid-race move on the Buck station, and Sport Imperial have really laid it down here, going a length up on the Tideway Scullers, who are perennial challengers in this event. They make the later rounds of this competition continually over the last 4 years. 4th at Marlow Regatta in the Championship Coxless Fours, but at the moment struggling to keep pace with Sport Imperial.
Yeah, and look at that Sport Imperial boat on the left-hand side, the yellow boat. You can see the blades coming up and just picking it up sweetly, and they're doing the work for the last section, holding on well to their finish. Scullers, they're keeping their rate high, they're intending to stay in touch, though they have to stay in touch now if they're going to come back.
So the Tideway Scullers with work to do here, because Sport Imperial in the midsection of the race have taken it to nearly a 2-length lead and keeping a close eye on the steering of the Tideway Scullers as well, getting perilously close to the boom on the right-hand side of your picture. Sarah, they need to correct that steering, otherwise they're going to have a problem.
Oh, and we've seen this so many times with the Cox's Force. You just have to concentrate so much. It is one man who had the steers foot, Mr. Fields in this case, but everyone's responsibility, because when you get close to the booms, the natural reaction is not to put your blade in as hard because there's something in the way. If you do that, it can be over.
It costs you so much time as well, doesn't it? Taking a meandering course down the river, and that has cost the Tideway Scullers dear, because up until that point they were still in contention. Now you have to ask the question, how are they going to get back into this race? Well, probably their best chance is Sport Imperial having their own problems with the steering, but at the moment they're cutting a perfect course downriver as they come in front of the grandstands, and Tideway Scullers have got so much to do and they haven't got much time to do it. Sport Imperial will think they've got this one in the bag.
Yeah, Matthew Whaley, losing finalist in 2014 in the Thames Cup. Is he going to turn that result around? He is determined. He is leading his men from that stroke set. And, you know, look at this now. The crowds are full. This Sport Imperial boat, long, loose, Scullers, really brave, pressing it on, but it is Sport Imperial that I think will finish this race ahead.
Matthew Whaley, Samuel Butler, Matthew Pointing and Josh Butler over the line to win for Sport Imperial in the Wyfold Challenge Cup. You can hear the celebrations. And over the line, a little bit further back, the Tideway Scullers School, who had a good start, got out clean from the pontoon, but then had a wobble mid-race with their steering. That cost them dear.